Oh boy, Jim Bowden is up to it again. Let's go talk about it. Oh, how I love looking at Jim Bowden trade proposals. They are usually pretty terrible. And here we go, Jim Bowden, 5 MLB trades I'd like to see in May, including a Xander Bogaerts deal. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to look at the trade and then I'm going to plug it in to the best trade simulator on the internet, baseballtradevalues.com. They have over a 95% acceptance rate with their simulator on over 250 real-life trades. So let's get to the first one, shall we? And you know what? I actually don't think this one is all that bad. Jim Bowden getting off to an okay start here. That is very rare fashion for Mr. Jim. Blue Jays acquire Josh Bell from the Nationals for shortstop / second baseman Leo Jimenez and right-hander Trent Palmer. So if we go take a look at the Blue Jays right now, with their offense, you would think their offense would be a lot better than this. I mean, they're not bad at all. They're 13th, but it's kind of middle of the road when last year they were one of the best offenses in the game. But Josh Bell, he is off to a pretty nice start this year with the Nationals. Not a whole lot going on with Washington right now, but Josh Bell is off to a good start, hitting .349, 4 homers, 21 RBIs, a .968 OPS overall. And if we take a look at the trade here, it's not too bad. It's not too far apart. The simulator considers it a moderate overpay, but come trade deadline time, well, I know Jim Bowden says he would like to see these trades in May, but whatever. If this ends up coming down to the deadline when you have other teams bidding for Josh Bell, I could see something like this where you are going to have to overpay a little bit. For the Nationals, they'd be getting a pretty decent shortstop or middle infield prospect in Jimenez from the Blue Jays. And with the Blue Jays here, they're not giving up Martinez and they're not giving up Groshans as well. So I think Jimenez would be pretty expendable. They're giving up, a lower level pitching prospect in Palmer. I think for Bell, the reason his value is so low is, hey, with Bell, he is a free agent after this year, so he would be a rental. And Bell in prior years, he has had last year was pretty good for him, had an .823 OPS, but he has shown some inconsistencies. 2020, he did not have a very good season, but I think mainly the reason you're going to be seeing his value this low is just because he is a free agent after this year. He is basically a rental at this point, making $10 million. That's not too expensive, but overall, I do like this trade, so I'll give it a thumbs up. Coming in at number 2, we have the Rays acquiring right-hander Frankie Montas from the A's for right-hander Cole Wilcox and middle infielder / outfielder Vidal Brujan. Listen, I have been on the bandwagon of Frankie Montas going to the Rays for quite a while now. I would love to see Frankie Montas on the Rays. Well, as a Red Sox fan, no, I would not like to see that, but I think Frankie Montas would be a really nice fit for the Rays overall. Don't have Tyler Glasnow, probably not for this season. Maybe he can come back at the end of the season, maybe make it back for the playoffs if the Rays are there at that point. But Montas would really give them a boost in the rotation. If we go take a look here at the Rays rotation currently, they are performing pretty well. If we take a look here, you have Shane McClanahan, who is off to a very nice start this year. Rasmussen's had some pretty nice starts. You got Kluber as well, but you got Springs, Yarbrough. It does feel like they could use another guy, and Montas, I think, would be a really nice fit for this rotation. He's someone that's going to eat innings. Right now, 7 starts, 43 innings, a 3.77 ERA, a 3.63 FIP. Frankie Montas, he's going to be solid. The A's, they're definitely going to get a pretty decent package back for him. I agree with Frankie Montas going to the Rays. I think that would be a nice fit. However, I don't think this is enough for him. You got Brujan here. You got Wilcox. Sure, I do like those prospects, but I think the A's, most likely, they're going to hang on to this guy until the deadline. They're going to hold out for the best package possible, which for a front line, at least a number 2 guy in your rotation, Frankie Montas, he's going to cost you a coin. So I think you are going to have to give up more than this. I think with Bowden, I think he's overvaluing Brujan a little bit. His value has fallen. He has had some time in the majors. He just hasn't really been able to get it together. I feel like with the Rays as well, You know, you got Walls there. Obviously, you have Franco. You got some guys at infield. It just feels like Brujan, he's not really going to find a place to play. I feel like with the A's, he would be really nice. Now, the good thing with the Rays here, they got a whole bunch of other prospects. Now, if you just maybe throw in one more guy here, you're around $15 million in difference. You know, maybe you could throw in, you know, like a right-hander like Johnson. That would bring that package closer. Now, if you want to maybe get someone a little more of value, taking a look here, you can take out Johnson. Maybe you can put in someone like Colmenares, you know, shortstop prospect. So I think you're on the right track with Wilcox and Brujan. Now, I think you're going to have to include a little bit more. I approve of the fit of Montas with the Rays. As for the package originally proposed, I'm going to give that a thumbs down, but you're on the right track with it. Coming in at number 3, the Cardinals acquire shortstop Xander Bogaerts from the Red Sox for infielder Nolan Gorman. Now, I'm not going to worry about what he says here, where it says contingent on St. Louis signing Bogaerts to a long-term contract in the neighborhood of 8 years, $216 million. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to look at the trade itself. I don't think the Cardinals would do this trade. As you can see, Gorman, as of right now, has way more value than Bogaerts. Yes, Bogaerts is having a good start to the year. My Red Sox are absolutely terrible, but Bogaerts is Bogaerts, hitting .345, a couple homers, 10 RBIs, and .862 OPS. Bogaerts is off to a solid start this year. However, he can opt out after this season. So I don't think the Cardinals would give up someone like Nolan Gorman. This guy has a bright future. He's hitting extremely well in the minor leagues. If the Cardinals gave up Nolan Gorman for, who knows, at minimum a rental with Xander Bogaerts, I would do backflips. Are you kidding me? I don't think the Cardinals would do this. And Cardinals fans, I don't think you would want this to happen either. Now, I guess, you know, if Bogaerts ended up re-signing long-term, would that make it better? Cardinals fans, let me know. Would you do that? But I don't think the Cardinals are going to do this. Now, I could see a couple of different options. And first off, before I get to the other options, the reason why Bogaerts would be a really nice fit for the Cardinals, well, Paul DeJong was just optioned down to the minor leagues. Kind of a bit of a shocking move. You know, Paul DeJong, he's, you know, been in the majors now for quite a few years, and he's had success. He has struggled to start this year. I was saying in the offseason, man, they could really use an improvement at shortstop, and they decided to go with DeJong, and it just wasn't really working out. Bogaerts in this lineup would be really good. You know, you got Goldschmidt, Arenado, O'Neill, Carlson. Man, that would be a really nice addition for this Cardinals team. But, again, I don't think they're going to give up Gorman for him. I would do backflips. But I could see a couple of trades like this. I could see Bogaerts maybe for power-hitting young outfielder Joshua Baez and Michael McGreevy. I would really like this package. A good power-hitting outfielder, McGreevy, a guy that throws a lot of strikes. Not a whole lot of velocity, but he's a pretty solid pitching prospect, having success in the minor leagues so far. If you didn't want to do this, I could see maybe a package of Ivan Herrera and Mason Wynn. The Red Sox, they don't really have right now a big future at the catching position in the minor leagues. You do have a couple of guys. There is Connor Wong, who you got back in the Mookie Betts trade. You do have Ronaldo Hernandez. There is Nathan Hickey as well, but he's far away. Right now, the Red Sox, they don't have a lot of options when it comes to the catching position. So maybe the Cardinals fans, I know that might be that might be painful, but Herrera, I could see Chaim Bloom really wanting someone like Herrera, and Mason Wynn, you'd be getting back a shortstop in return. But Cardinals fans, let me know what would you do? I'm sure Cardinals fans would love to have Xander Bogaerts, but for the original trade, I'm going to give it a thumbs down. For the fit, I think Bogaerts does fit the Cardinals nicely, but I would say more along the lines of one of these trades. Coming in at number 4, the Yankees acquire catcher MJ Melendez from the Royals for outfield prospect Jasson Dominguez and infield prospect Oswaldo Cabrera. I'm going to give this a thumbs down right now. I don't know why I'm seeing this lately on the interwebs, on the Twitter. Why are people saying, oh, the Yankees, they need to go make an upgrade at the catching position? I mean, sure, maybe these guys aren't really hitting from the catching position. You got Kyle Higashioka and Jose Trevino. Don't forget about Ben Rortvedt as well. He's there in the system. But to me, I don't see why people are clamoring for an offensive upgrade when these guys are providing the best defense among catchers in the major leagues right now. They lead all of Major League Baseball with a 6.2 defense from the catching position. I don't see, like, yeah, sure, maybe these guys aren't really hitting, but that was a huge problem for the Yankees last year. It was terrible defense from the catching position. They did have Higashioka last year, but you had Gary Sanchez last year. Now, I'm not saying MJ Melendez would be, a bad catcher defensively, but MJ Melendez, that is a power bat where he has a lot of power potential. He's hit a ton of home runs in the minor leagues. I don't think that's really what the Yankees really need right now. I think stick with what you have. Don't fix what's not broke. You already have one of the best offenses in Major League Baseball. I don't see why you need to upgrade it even more. I mean, you got bats all over the place. I don't see the need to upgrade right now at the catcher position. They're already playing great defense. Just leave it alone. Don't fix what's not broke. I'm going to give this a thumbs down. And last but not least, coming in at number 5, the Marlins acquire center fielder Bryan Reynolds from the Pirates for outfielder Jesus Sanchez, right-hander Uri Perez, and shortstop prospect Jose Salas. Now, I like the idea of Bryan Reynolds on the Marlins. The Marlins offense has been a lot better this year. They were one of the worst offenses last year, but they made some pretty good upgrades in the offseason, and they see themselves right around the middle, 14th overall with a 6.3 offense at the moment. So you got to like where they're going. They are having some guys stepping up here. Jazz Chisholm Jr., he's having a fun season. Joey Wendell's actually been really solid for them coming over from the Rays. Guys like Birdie, Anderson, Cooper, Brian De La Cruz, they've all been pretty decent for the most part. Actually, Brian De La Cruz, he's got himself a 405 on base. Just want to see a little more slugging from these guys. Whereas, Jazz Chisholm, he's got a 611 slugging. He's having himself a good season. Bryan Reynolds would be a really nice fit for this lineup. I would love to see him in a Marlins uniform. He's under control. He's not expensive. He kind of fits into what the Marlins are looking for when it comes to the money aspect as well, and they definitely could use another bat. Now, as for this trade, you're off on this trade. I think you're on the right track, though. I like Uri Perez. I like Jesus Sanchez. Jesus Sanchez, man, this is a guy, he's got a ton of raw power, 70 raw power on Fangraphs. He's off to a slow start this year, though. He's got a few home runs, but there's a lot of potential with him. I could see maybe, going to a place like Pittsburgh, kind of let him start over a little bit. Miami, they're playing some good baseball. Jesus Sanchez, maybe a change of scenery can get him going a little bit, where the Marlins, hey, they're looking like a team that could get a wild card this year. So for me, what I would do, if you want to get closer to this, I don't see the Pirates, accepting this trade. I would take out Salas, and I would probably be like, hey, if you want to get this done, we want Watson. Now, if you throw these 3 guys at the Pirates for Bryan Reynolds, I think you got the Pirates' attention, absolutely. If you look at this is pretty much dead even right now, 72.3, 72.2. So now, Marlins fans, would you be okay with giving up these 3 guys for someone like Bryan Reynolds, especially if maybe you could lock him down, long term? I don't know. I think you're on the right track here. I think with Salas, I don't think that's going to be enough. I could definitely see the Pirates offering more. So the original trade, I'll give it a thumbs down. But I think with something like this, you're more on the right track. So those are the 5 Jim Bowden trade proposals he wants to see this month. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. Did you like any of the trades? Did you think any of them were absolutely ridiculous? Let me know down below. But that's all I have for right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.